often. Good afternoon. Thank you so much for being here. I want to give a special thank you to Speaker Shepard and President Hester and Secretary Oliva, who I'll ask to say a few words here in just a moment. I'm so thankful for the hard work of the Secretary and the leadership, as well as members of our working group who have worked tirelessly on this. Brian Evans, Keith Brooks, Breanne Davis, Jane English, and Jim Dotson. Last night, I had the honor of responding to President Biden's State of the Union address. And as I said in my remarks, I believe that giving every child access to a quality education is the civil rights issue of our day. I've made absolutely no secret that education reform will be the hallmark of my administration. And today, we are delivering on that promise to introduce the most far-reaching, bold, and conservative education reforms anywhere in the entire country. Today, too far and too few Arkansas students enjoy the same quality education I received. Despite spending half of our state's budget on education, our kids are falling behind. Only 35% of Arkansas third graders can read at grade level, and nearly half don't meet our state's math readiness benchmark. This is unacceptable. Families find themselves trapped in failing schools simply because they live in the wrong zip code. Fewer than 500 Arkansas students are enrolled in parental choice programs. And like most other states, we're dealing with a teacher shortage. It doesn't help that Arkansas offers some of the lowest teacher pay in the country. That changes today. The effects of a poor education are lifelong. When our kids don't have access to quality education, they are more likely to drop out, more likely to get involved in crime, and more likely to be trapped in a lifetime of poverty. We will end that. Arkansas Learns is a comprehensive blueprint to meet teachers' needs, respect parents' rights, and most importantly, deliver the quality education that our kids deserve. It starts by immediately offering incentives to attract and retain the best, brightest teachers to Arkansas. Instead of being 48th in the nation for starting teacher salary, we will now be in the top 5. We will show that Arkansas values our teachers by giving every teacher a minimum salary of $50,000. We will offer complete student loan forgiveness for new teachers willing to commit to teach in Arkansas in the areas of highest need, and up to $10,000 more in bonuses to our best educators who are making meaningful gains in the improvement of student outcomes. But we can't forget our children first, and most important, our parents. As a mom, I will never allow our state to sideline our parents in students' education. That starts by ensuring parents have a choice to send their kid to the school that best meets their individual needs, no matter where they live and no matter what their income. Our new Education Freedom account allows parents to enroll their kids in whatever school is most appropriate for their family, whether it be public, private, parochial, or homeschool. We're rolling out this program for our most at-risk families first, and within 3 years, it'll be available to every family in Arkansas. course, this bill will make sure our students spend their time in the classroom learning reading, writing, and arithmetic. We will never subject our kids to indoctrination, and we will never, ever expose our young children to inappropriate material. Most importantly, this legislation ensures that every Arkansas student graduates with the education and training they need to succeed in life. We're going to start our kids early. It's proven that students with access to high-quality early childhood education perform better throughout their time in school. This plan will streamline existing early childhood programs and funding to ensure our dollars are being spent where they are needed the very most. Literacy is the foundation for learning. In pre-kindergarten through third grade, students are learning to read. After third grade, they have to read in order to learn. If we fail at this very early benchmark, we are failing our students. To tackle this, we are going to arm our teachers with resources and support. We are going to deploy 120 highly trained reading coaches to our schools that need it most. For students who are not meeting the reading benchmarks in K through 3, we will provide $500 tutoring grants. Finally, our workforce. When a student graduates from high school, we should not just be asking the question, what do they know? We should be asking, what can they do? That's why we're launching a dual diploma program in all Arkansas high schools. The new Career Ready Diploma will provide high school students with the opportunity to choose a pathway that best fits their needs after graduation. This is the most substantial overhaul of our state's education system in Arkansas history. And frankly, it couldn't come soon enough. The longer we wait to reform our failing schools, the more future generations we're condemning to a lifetime of poverty. I promised to be the education governor, and I'm proud to deliver on that promise only a month into my term. I look forward to working with the legislature to pass this bill and begin a new, brighter future for our kids. Thank you so much. I cannot wait to see this come to full fruition. I'm so excited about the team that we have behind me that is working tirelessly to make sure this happens, because we are going to deliver for Arkansas students. Thank you so much, and with that, I'm going to turn it over to Speaker Shepherd.
I'd like to begin by thanking Governor Sanders for her commitment to education. This is something that she obviously talked about on the campaign trail as she crossed Arkansas, and now in the early weeks of session, we're getting to see that come to fruition. So this is an exciting day for Arkansas. It's an exciting day for education, but most importantly, it's an exciting day for our students and the generations to come here in Arkansas. I think that this plan, as it comes together, as it's laid out, will build upon some of the progress that we've made in recent years. And I look forward to the discussion and the debate as it's brought forward. I support the plan. I look forward to that debate. But at the end of the day, I believe this is something that will receive wide support, and it is something that will ultimately make the difference in countless Arkansans' lives, and will, again, build upon the fact that Arkansas is going to be the best place to live, work, and raise a family in the United States. Thank you, Governor, and thank you to my colleagues who have all worked very hard over these last number of years, and specifically to the working group, and I look forward to moving this plan forward. Thank you.
Well, Arkansas students are smart and capable. Our teachers are talented and hardworking, and in just a few days, we're going to have the policy that gives them the support that they all deserve. And I'm looking forward to all my colleagues. You can look back here and see how many people are with us, and that's a statement from the legislature saying that we are committed to the students and teachers of Arkansas, and I'm excited to get this bill passed. Amen.
So
I just want to say thank you. If this wasn't a big deal, we'd literally be standing here by ourselves talking to nobody. So if this doesn't prove this moment right now that this is one of the most historic moments in the history of education in the state of Arkansas, I don't know what else can do it. Look around. We've got students, we've got legislators, we even have teachers here. This is everybody coming together to put forth a vision. If there's one thing that we know in education is that a one-size approach doesn't meet the need of all of our students. In this comprehensive package, when you look at implementing that LEARNS initiative, that focus on literacy, the focus on empowerment, accountability, readiness, networking, and school safety, provides pathways for students. It provides policy to support good teachers. It recognizes, recruits, and helps retain them. It supports administrators. It supports districts. It supports students and families. This one-size approach to fixing education is going to end today, because we're going to be able to create different pathways that are tailored to the individual students and the family's needs so that we can be successful. So I'm excited to stand here today and say to Governor Sanders that everybody throughout this process, the legislators, the stakeholders out in school districts, the department, have all worked together to put pen to paper to make sure that we're putting together policy that we know when it's fully implemented and executed will make a difference. And I'm excited to announce today that we are ready to get to work.
You look like you're really ready, so I think I'm going to call on somebody else first. No, I'm just kidding. Does anybody have any questions?
The former governor at one point talked about a starting salary of 46. The Democrats threw out 50. How did you get to 50?
Look, we want to be competitive, and we want Arkansas to be at the top, and this allows us to do that. We also want to really focus on rewarding the hardworking teachers who are delivering for our students and make sure that we are responsibly doing that, and this allows us to do that.
Do we have a total price tag for this plan?
We're looking rough estimates. I would say in the first year, probably around $300 million. $150 million of that is new spending. A lot of this is money that already exists that's geared towards education programs. Sure.
Will the bill only allow using public funds at accredited schools, or will the bill truly encourage innovation and entrepreneurship in education?
Certainly encourages innovation and entrepreneurship. There are some accountability measures that we want schools to adhere to. We think that's incredibly important. If we're investing state dollars, we want to make sure we have that accountability mechanism in place. To be clear, this is not a mandated program. It is optional for schools to participate in. It's optional for homeschool parents to participate in, but you will have to meet that accountability mechanism if you want to opt into the program.
You talked about indoctrination, you talked about that in your speech last night too. Is this legislation going to include critical race theory ban put into law, or something similar to Florida's law dealing with how sexuality is taught in schools?
Absolutely. We want to make sure that we're protecting our students. Our goal is never going to be to teach kids what to think, but how to think. And so we want to make sure that that's our focus. And the language from the executive order is similarly mirrors in this legislation when it comes to CRT. We want to make sure we're not indoctrinating our students. Secretary Lee, I don't know if you want to add in on that, but certainly there are things in this legislation that do that.
And would there be something similar to the Florida law in this legislation as well too?
There would, because we want to make sure, again, that we are protecting our students and making sure they're not exposed to inappropriate material.
So with the educational freedom accounts, if I got the terminology correct.
So far, you're doing good.
Okay, would the amount be the same as the school districts get from the state, or what would the size of
Let me make sure I'm following your question correctly. Are you asking the investment for the accounts?
per student? Right.
Per student, it's very similar. I don't know if you want to walk through the detail. Go ahead.
Yeah, so some of those details are still being ironed out working with the legislator, but there's kind of that base student funding that every student generates. The foundation funding, some of the figures are on, is it about 90% of the foundation funding for that value that would go into the education freedom account. But as stated, there's some nuances, there's some technicalities that we're still working through.
What
what's the timeline for this to be introduced and considered by the legislature?
We've sent all of our language to BLR, and we're hopeful that they'll get that back to us as soon as possible. You are welcome to lean on them along with us if you would like to see it quicker, because so would we. Take one last question.
Why phase in the education savings accounts over 3 years for everyone rather than just start right away?
We want to make sure that we have the ability to implement the program correctly and address the students with the greatest need, and so we think a phase-in approach allows us to do that. Thank you guys so much. We really appreciate you being here and look forward to working with our students. Thank you.